G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping straight into Go Battle League and the Premier Cup in Ultra League. So I am running Muk, Lapras and Gallade. So Muk on the lead as a little bit of a neutral sort of lead. So he probably won't win too many leads, but hopefully won't lose too many leads either. So Poliwrath on the lead is one of those that's not ideal. Dynamic Punch is going to do a lot of damage, so no shield this, and it is the Dynamic Punch. I'm going to charge up and then throw straight into the Gunk Shot and hope I do not get a shield. So let's throw that trash can. No shield there on the Poliwrath, so that's really good, and I'm actually going to let this go down. So I'm going to bring out the Gallade to farm down and get the energy lead. So unfortunately they're able to get to a charge move. It will be an Ice Punch, which it is, and it's not going to do a huge amount of damage. So again, let that go through. So we're on 2 shields apiece. So out comes the Swampert, so that's really interesting because the Leaf Blade is absolutely going to one-shot it, and with the advantage in energy that I got from farming down the Poliwrath, that works out really well. So I'm going to throw straight into it because I want to burn both shields if I can, and I am able to do so. So the thing that I'm worried about here is a switch out. So we'll shield this up and then we'll be aware of the switch out, and it did happen. So switch straight into the Venusaur there, and I swapped straight into Lapras, which isn't necessarily a great move. Shields are down, so I should be able to get to an Ice Beam before they can get to 2 Frenzy Plants, and the Ice Beam is going to KO the Venusaur, so really good there. Swampert comes back out and I'm able to get to a Surf, which goes through, and then Swampert looks to throw its energy to take out the Lapras. It did undercharge there to try and get a farm so it could throw energy as soon as my Gallade came out, but undercharged a little bit too much and I was able to charge it down. I did have energy stored on the Gallade, so happy days. So we'll jump into the next one. So Charizard into Muk. So again, another neutral lead, and this is sort of the advantage. I don't need to swap out, but then neither do my opponents normally. So whether that's a good strategy or not, left to be determined. So going to throw the Dark Pulse, so charge up to the Gunk Shot and then throw the Dark Pulse to try and burn that shield. So I went over 1 energy extra farm just so I could get to my next Dark Pulse a little bit faster. I'm going to let this go. Blast Burn does KO, and now I'm going to bring out my Gallade again to farm up some extra energy. Gallade's charge moves do absolutely nothing against the Charizard, but the fast moves do a lot. So out comes the Shadow Dragonite. Swap into my Lapras, and then they swap into the Venusaur. So let that go. Questionable play there. I wanted to just survive, so I had energy to throw, but should have shielded that up and then seemed to try to double charge move on the Shadow Dragonite. Because it was a Shadow, it's going to be a lot weaker. So into the next one. So a bit of a misplay there by me. So into the next one, and Machamp on the lead. So this is becoming a more and more common lead. So Machamp on the lead, and I'm going to go straight Gunk Shot. Unfortunately, we CMP tied there, and I'm going to let that go. So I was able to survive with a slither of health. Unfortunately, they did shield that up, so unfortunate that wasn't able to get to another charge move. So going to come in with the Gallade again. Was expecting them to get out of there, and expecting a Rock Slide here, which it is, so shielded that up nicely. Out comes the Scizor, and then swap into the Lapras to catch that Night Slash, and save the energy on the Gallade in the back there, so I can threaten when anything else comes out. So they're going to be throwing those Night Slashes. Night Slashes are starting to add up a little bit. I'm going to still let this one go and look to farm down here, and able to farm this down, see what comes out. So going to be throwing the Surf straight away. So Surf, because the Machamp comes back out, and I was expecting a shield. I did get that shield, and then was hoping to be able to charge down. We'll have to use my final shield now, but I do have a lot of energy saved on the Gallade, so able to throw the Leaf Blade. This is going to absolutely one-shot the Swampert, and then able to fast move farm down. I did have the charge move ready to go, but it was fast move farm down, so I'm not actually sure how it threw a fast move instead of throwing straight into that second Leaf Blade. So good game right there. So next one up. So as you can see, I'm in rank 8, but facing a lot of rank 9 players, so don't know what that's all about. So Dragonite on the lead here, into... So I'm going to Dark Pulse here, and fortunately grab the shield. So what you want to do is charge up to the Gunk Shot and at least try and burn a shield. It is the Outrage, so I was not expecting the Outrage. So out comes the Lapras to finish off that Dragonite, and they just swap straight into the Venusaur there. Was trying to get a charge move, get a shield with that charge move. I'm going to let this go, which sounds interesting, and I'm going to put 2 shields into Lapras and see how it goes. So out comes a Gengar, so that's really interesting. I'm going to be able to do a lot of damage here with the glassiness of Gengar, so they have used their shield. I'm going to shield this up, hoping I don't get Shadow Punched, but I do. So out comes Dragonite. Not going to throw a charge move, and going to save that shield. Out comes the Gengar, and I will be able to throw the Ice Beam. So wanted to save that shield in case the Gengar had a move stored, and the Ice Beam is going to be enough to one-shot the Gengar. So happy days right there. Able to take that match. So bit of a misplay, I think, by them not letting me throw energy on, well, swapping out of the Gengar, so I didn't have to throw more energy with the Lapras, but all is good, able to take that win. So Escavalier on the lead, not a great lead for me, and what I want to do here is try and swap out and catch the Drill Run on the Lapras, and I am able to do so. So there's the Drill Run, doesn't do huge amounts of damage. Unfortunately, out comes an Ampharos, so not great for the Lapras there. Wanting to put in some pressure here, and definitely was able to do a reasonable amount of damage there by landing that Surf. So both have 2 shields. Was able to get 1 fast move in, but unfortunately they then got to their Thunder Punch. So not going to shield up that first Thunder Punch, because I know I can survive it. I will have to shield up this second one and then look to fully farm down. So my fast move did register beforehand. Out comes the Escavalier here, so I'm going to throw the Close Combat and switch into Alolan Muk here, and then throw the Dark Pulse to try and really do some chip damage here. So attack coming through. I'm going to have to shield this because it is going to be the Drill Run, and that's going to be super effective, and then they swap into their Venusaur. So I want to charge up to the Gunk Shot and then throw the Dark Pulse, and the reason for that is, again, I want to burn that shield. I didn't get the shield, so that's really unfortunate. So it doesn't matter what move they throw here, both are going to be resisted, and that's not going to do a whole lot of damage there. So really good getting that second Dark Pulse off, and then able to get into the Leaf Blade with the Gallade. Unfortunately, they do have a shield, and am I going to be able to? No. So right there, I should not have thrown my... should not have thrown the Leaf Blade. I should have just looked to charge down, and maybe I would have got an extra fast move through that would have been enough to mean that I took that victory. So really, really close game there. They were able to just take me out. So an Arcanine off the lead, which is an interesting one. So I'm expecting to see a wild charge here. So I'm going to go straight up Gunk Shot. I don't know what to expect, but they've not shielded it. So that's happy days for me. So this is going to be a wild charge. It won't take me out, so I will let that go through. and they left the game. So not shielding that trash can to the face, almost one-shotted the Arcanine there, so really good. And we'll jump into the next set. So again, facing up against rank 9 players, so I'm assuming people have got to rank 9 and are at a elo of what was old rank 8, and that's why I'm matching up against them. So Glycizor off the lead. So interesting lead, and I do shield up and swap into the Lapras there. So I'm going to go straight the Ice Beam and really hope I don't get a shield. If I don't get a shield here, I'm in a good position. Unfortunately, I get the shield. So always difficult. Rock Slides are going to do huge amounts of damage. Power Whips are going to do huge amounts of damage. Have no shields left. Hopefully I can survive this. I can. And then I'm going to throw into the Surf and looking to burn the second shield. Able to burn that second shield. And can I get to another Surf? I can get to another Surf. So really good to get to the Surf there. Not quite able to take it out, but do sack swap my Alolan Muk, because I do know that it is going to be able to absorb that damage really quickly, and I want to get a few extra fast moves to charge up on energy there, and able to get to 2 Dark Pulses before the Glycizor is able to get to its ground move and take me out. So that's really good. And in the back they've got Swampert. Again, I'm going to have to let this go and try and get to a Leaf Blade before it's able to get to an Earthquake, and I am able to do so. And again, we've all seen this match, absolutely one-shots the Swampert, the Gallade there, so able to take that game. So really good game there. We'll jump into the next one, finally getting matched up against another rank 8 player, and we'll see how we go. So Swampert on the lead. So this is one of those matches that is not good for me at all, so we'll swap this out into Lapras, hoping they swap out as well. This is going to be an Earthquake, but I'm not going to shield it up, and the reason for that is because then they're obviously going to swap out and start putting the pressure on. So this Dark Pulse is going to do a reasonable amount of damage, and I will throw the Surf, and I'm hoping to get to a second Surf, and we'll see how much damage we can do. So able to go for the Ice Beam and get to the Ice Beam as well. So just able to get to that Ice Beam, and unfortunately they shielded it up, so really bad for me there. And they're able to fully commit to the farm down. So I will bring out my own Alolan Muk here to absorb some of this damage, and I'm really glad it stuck out there, and then look to over farm a lot, and then I'll start throwing some moves. I want to be close to being able to throw another charge move, or be able to throw another charge move, and the reason for that is because I know that the Swampert is going to be coming back out. So I will throw my Dark Pulse here and no shield, so I'm just going to go back to back Dark Pulses, and let's see what they want to do. So got the shield there, and then looking to farm down. So they've charged up a lot of extra energy. I'm going to save this, and then we're going to see what's in the back. So I'm hoping to I'm going to tank this Hydro Cannon here, which it is, and then they swap into the Granbull, and that's GG. So unfortunately, that is a very lost game with one shield in hand. So Granbull in the back, not ideal against the good old Gallade, so it absolutely goes to town on it there. So unfortunately, dropped that one. So next game, Tangle Growth on the lead, and this is actually one that's pretty good, and the reason for that is because its fast moves are going to be resisted, and so is the Power Whips. The Power Whip's not going to do much there. So I'm going to farm up to 2 Dark Pulses there, and I'm hoping to grab some shields. So what I want here is shields, and I was able to do so. So they got to the first shield, and then Rock Slided. I'm hoping they won't double shield, so I'm going to go straight for the Gunk Shot. Unfortunately, they've decided to double shield up their the Tangle Growth, and then they swap into the Swampert, and the reason I've swapped into my Lapras over the Tangle Growth is because the Lapras has a bad matchup against the Tangle Growth, so I want to get this out of the way. So they've got running Sludge Wave, so not too bad. They tried to bait with a second move there, so able to call that bait and get to another Surf. So overcharge just a fraction, just so I have a little bit of bonus energy. I expect the Tangler to come back out, which it has, and then we'll see what they want to do. So they're going to throw that energy. I'm going to let this Lapras go. And then I unfortunately went for the wrong move there. Had I thrown my Dark Pulse, I would have been able to take out the Tangler, and then this would have been a much, much nicer game. So out comes the Charizard, and then I look to close combat to see if this is going to be enough to take this out. Unfortunately, it is not enough to take it out. I should have just thrown the Leaf Blade, and that's cost me the game. So a few costly mistakes there. So one, not throwing the Dark Pulse on the Tangle Growth straight away, and two, not throwing the Leaf Blade on the Charizard. So that was a very, very winnable game there, and that was my poor play that lost that game. And nothing else. So Lapras on Lapras. So Ampharos on the lead is very, very good because we do not want this matched up with our Lapras. So going to go straight for the Dark Pulse there. Ampharos is a bit squishy, so it's going to be doing enough damage. So they did overfarm a lot there, so I did shield it up, and it was a brilliant shield bait. It is just the Thunder Punch, so going to look to charge up extra energy again, and then throw the Dark Pulse. Was able to grab a shield. Let's see if we can get to the next one before they can. And I'm actually going to double shield the Muk, and they've double shielded their Ampharos here. So unfortunately, they're able to then charge me down. Out comes my Gallade, and they're able to get to a Thunder Punch, which is going to be doing a reasonable amount of difference, a reasonable amount of damage. I will go straight for the Leaf Blade because I do not want to be charged down, and it does a reasonable amount of damage there. So Leaf Blade is obviously going to take me out, and then it's down to Lapras. So can it take out the Gallade? It can before it gets to a charge move. Out comes the Tangle Growth, and I'm able to get to an Ice Beam because I've got extra energy farmed, and this Ice Beam is going to not quite one shot. So let's see how much damage. So they threw the Rock Slide, which is not ideal. I'm able to charge the Ampharos down, get to the Surf, and the Surf's going to be resist the damage but doing enough to take it out. So left it all up to the Lapras in the back there. Lapras was able to go to town and take out that whole team. So really, really good right there. And we'll jump straight into the next one. So Abomasnow on the lead, again, not too bad. Its moves are not going to be doing huge amounts of damage, so no shield here on this first one. The Weather Ball is going to be doing resisted damage. Unfortunately, they get to their moves so fast with Powder Snow, and then I'm looking to overfarm and going to throw the Dark Pulse to try and bait out a shield. No shield there, so I'm going to just throw straight into the next Dark Pulse and see what they want to do. So able to grab the shield that time, and then we'll look to farm away. Going to double shield my Alolan Muk here, and then throw straight into the Dark Pulse. So probably what I should have done there is overcharged a little bit to be able to get a little bit of extra energy. So here, out comes the Ampharos, and it's obviously going to have a nice little head start on energy there. Really nice head start on energy, and they're up a shield, so this is not looking good for me. So expecting to see 2 Thunder Punches coming through, and that's going to be doing quite a lot of damage. Out comes the Brave Bird, so switch straight into the Lapras. Brave Haunch Crow is very, very squishy, so was expecting to get a shield there from that Surf. Sky attacks are going to be doing a reasonable amount of damage, but Lapras is an absolute tank, so it can handle them. As long as they don't Brave Bird me, which it looks like they're not. A little bit of lag there, which is unfortunate, and then going to be able to get to the Ice Beam on the as they switch out into the, well, nice little bit of lag into the Ampharos, going to be able to Ice Beam and get that win. So really, really good there, and was able to go 3 and 2 in that set. Should have gone 4 and 1, but had a real nightmare where I made a couple of mistakes in that game. One, with not throwing energy on the Alolan Muk, and 2, not again throwing a charge move, the Leaf Blade on the Charizard to end it. But I mean, it is what it is, and able to go 3 and 2, so happy days. So hopefully that was useful for someone. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.